Yesterday night I had enough of the Indian shovelnose chasing around the piraiba, the fun-size kuma, in the jumbo 4500. So with the help of my wife I caught him and transferred him into the 25,000. So here's the first. I'm taking a gamble. This is the first fish here with very long and sharp spines in his fins. I still don't have the curtain hung to protect at least the walls from his spines and those fish that will follow him. But I'm hoping she's still there alone, and I'm soon I'm gonna hang the curtain. Maybe it will be alright and we'll get lucky and get by. It's a gamble. I maybe it would have been alright with or without the curtains even. So put him here about almost a full day ago. He fought pretty well in the net, and then I didn't take him out of the water in the net. Inside the net I transferred him into a plastic sack, a big one, and gingerly brought him over and plopped him here. Since then I've seen him, he sat like in one spot for an hour or two, and then he began swimming around, probably for an hour. See, he took a dislike to the African giraffe catfish. He just chased away one of them. I saw him come over and check out Mr. Wells. And I have not seen him touch Mr. Wells yet. And he seems to be untouched. Untagged. He doesn't care about the koi or the carp, or the sturgeon at least. But he seems to pay attention to the giraffes. There is 5 giraffe catfish in there. I think he just swam by without touching the other one, the one by the back wall. So sometimes he pays attention to them, other times he does not. There's 5 giraffe catfish in there, 2 from Congo, 2 from Bush, and 1 from Niger. But he looks annoyingly comfortable and confident. See how he's patrolling. All the fins are out, the whiskers are out. This interesting fish thinks he's the boss wherever you put him, even though he's not. In the prior tank, Zungaros, Azula was the boss, of course, the jowl catfish. In this tank, it's, if anybody, I mean, Wells doesn't care just so much about the rest of the tank except for his own corner. But nevertheless, the Wells is number 1. So he's giving a chase to another giraffe. It's a hard fish to house, I guess. I mean, his chases are usually quite inconsequential, so when there is the piraiba is injured, so I didn't want him to continue chasing the injured piraiba, fun-size kuma. The chasing of the healthy tank mates, it's not really so much dangerous as it is mostly just an annoyance. but it's inconsequential. Giraffe catfish themselves are semi-aggressive, and they can handle themselves and stand their ground if they have to. And they can give and they can take some bullying. There are two glittery eye or helicopter catfish in there, Walagos. He shared the tank with the toothster, with one of them for a very long time. They didn't pay any attention to each other, so he's okay with them. I'm hoping that he will not try to dominate whales, because whales will bite him and it will leave a mark, if not more. But he's way confident. Look at him. He's going up and down, not only on the bottom. Now he's patrolling the midwater and the top. He only dared to patrol the bottom in the Jumbo 4500. Well, this is not even a day in here, so maybe this is just an exploratory activity, an exploration of his new tank. And he will again keep mostly to his bottom, to his beloved bottom. But for now he looks utterly confident. As you know, I've said it many times, we've had this fish for 2017 probably, so that's 8 years. I cannot make it eat fish. It only wants pellets, and it cannot fill up itself on the pellets. No really huge fish can, unless you're gonna give him literally a few pounds of pellets every so often. So that's why he's so skinny. He's thin and bony. And he's sporting the damage from prior paroon attacks. He took out a good part of his dorsal fin that never grew back. His upper caudal lobe should be much bigger than considerably bigger than the lower lobe. But it gets bitten, it was getting bitten all the time, or trimmed in the Jumbo 4500. He's bearing some scars on the top near the dorsal base in the front, where he was again bitten by the paroons. You can see the bone and the depression in the shoulders where the muscle mass and fat should be, right behind the skull. Those spots should be filled out. That's where catfish store fat and muscle. But there are two depressions in that spot, which again tells you that he does not eat enough. He does not eat enough, despite my very best efforts. I throw a lot of giant new light spectrum pellets in his tank, in the 4,500 gallon. But the pacu and the Distichotus are very high competition for him. I mean, he still competes very well. But I cannot throw 5 pounds in there every 5 days. or every 3 days. I just can't afford it. And he doesn't take any fish. He would rather die. I bent backwards for him, trying to get him to eat fish. I isolated him out. I let him starve for several months. No, he wouldn't take any fish. No matter how I tried, what fish I gave him, or what kind of aquatic cuisine. Nope. He'd rather die. Or eat the pellets. My choice. Of course I caved and gave him the pellets. Let's go take a look at the injured Piraiba in his former tank. Piraiba is much calmer, much better now without him there. It can actually swim around the bottom, even sit on the bottom as it needs to. The little horror never let it sit on the bottom. See, his Kuma is swimming around on the bottom now. Unfortunately, after we had visitors, I pulled out the nets and I forgot I pulled them out. So I left them without the nets in there for half a day. And then somebody, I don't know if it's paroon or the Indian shovelnose, bit a little bit off of the top lobe of the tail. So that was really a blow below the belt for me. Now I'm double vigilant that the net isn't there, and I push around the paroon, the big paroon, several times a day to keep it stressed and keep its mind off of thinking of attacking the tank mates. But for now, my point is being that without the Indian shovelnose, there is peace and quiet on the bottom. Other fish don't bother Kuma on the bottom. So he stands a chance to heal better and faster and come back stronger. Hasn't eaten anything yet. Probably been a week and a half since I put him here. So that's what the tank looks like without the Indian shovelnose. You probably couldn't even notice he was a smaller fish in this tank. Take another look at the Indian shovelnose and call it a video. And logically this is a Spirata aor, but I don't know, could be a Cucularis. Singala will never see in the trade, as far as I know, so it's either a Cucularis or aor. They reach about the same size and look very similar. They can reach about 5 foot. This fish has been stuck at 3 feet for many years. Maybe for the last 5 years. 4 years. It's been the same size, same length anyway, which is not surprising given that his resistance to eating fish, while they're rather predatory in the wild. I mean, they hunt other small fish for sure. So I don't know what's the basis for for being so stubborn. I don't understand it. And few people keep them big enough that I would know the statistics of what to expect or not to expect. I don't remember if I consulted with Josh and Rich of the Higher Fish Rescue what their large Indian shovelnoses, what they eat. Do they take fish for them or not? If you know something, or if you keep this fish, let me know in the comments. That would really help me out. The fact that it's taken on the pellets has been bothering me for the last 5 years pretty much. Okay, something happened on the other end. That's where you go. Our primer made a splash, and let's check it out. Who splashed? Why splash? Can I take any advantage of anything that's happening? Why did they splash without my permission? Did I give a permission to splash? What's wrong with all of you? I'll show you who's the boss. I'm the boss. Self-proclaimed. Skinny and haggard looking boss. Well, thank you for watching. That's our risky and exciting update. On the 25,000.